Good morning, everyone. This morning I would like to focus a little bit on relationships. And I was led this morning to the Ten Commandments. And the Ten Commandments is, to us, it's on two tablets. The first five is connected to our relationship with God. And the number 6 to 10 is connected to relationships with people. And I was thinking a lot about this, about the importance of relationships. And I was now thinking, why was it so important to God? But if you look at the history, the first relationship was Adam and Eve. And look at the way that went. I mean, Eve was deceived and Adam followed her. So whether by whatever reason he followed her, he just also took part in the sin. Then we've got Cain and Abel, the first siblings, which the one murdered the other one because of jealousy and because of his relationship with God. So relationships is it's very much needed that God gives us guidelines connected to relationships. Another point that I want to bring out is that 50%, if 5 of the 10 commandments is linked to people, then 50% of our social life is connected to how we treat other people, how much we care for them, how much we do things out of own gain, or is it to benefit the other person. And I think something very important that we all need to realize is that when we focus on doing stuff for our own gain, we are manipulating the situation. We are manipulating the relationship. And it's not a pure relationship, whether it be a new friendship, whether it be an old friendship. But if we do not do things from a pure heart as unto God, then we actually are lying, we are murdering. Because what is murder? Murder we do with our tongues, because we smile and say good things to a person in front of them, but behind their backs we are backstabbing and we are not agreeing, but we don't say it in front of them. That is murdering. Lying is to say one thing to a person, to agree with them, to say that you like them and enjoy their company, yet you don't. And that is the honesty that we have to look into our own hearts. How good a friend are we? How good are we to treating other people to benefit them instead of us? Because if we do treat other people, whether they Christian or not Christian, if we treat them only to benefit us, we are not honoring God. We are not honoring Him at all. Remember, God puts a lot of focus on honor your father and your mother, and you will have a long life. So our first relationship in life that we have since we are born is our parents. And our parents is a template for all the relationships that we will have in future. That is apart from our relationship with God. That is the social element, the physical element of growing up, of understanding how to treat people, looking at examples, and yet honoring those people as the one that gave you life. Because they could have not given you life. They could have given you away for adoption. They have granted you that privilege of life. And that is why we need to be thankful and honor them for that. Whether they are honorable and whether they deserve our thanks, that is not the point. The point is, God said, we have to honor our mother and our father. And in social relations, often our mother and father can also represent authorities. We have to honor that. We have to honor, if we work for a massive big company and our boss is difficult, there's reasons. It's not easy to run a big company. It's not always easy to to have all that stress and all those big decisions that you have to take. And sometimes we just think of, can't they smile at me? Can't they think of giving me an increase? I'm working so hard. It's all about me. Have you ever stopped and just think for a moment what that person needs? And that will open doors for your future. If we really want to be blessed, and if we look at finance, if we want to be blessed financially, we need to think about other people more. We need to do more for other people, because what we sow, we will reap. We need to think about how to help other people, not always for money, not always to get something in return, because often we have that mindset, I don't do anything unless I'm paid, I don't do anything unless it's coming back to me, if it's not a Christian, I won't do it. We've got all these conditions before we will actually do something. But that is not God's way. God's way is, I have created each and every one of you, whether you are a Muslim, whether you are atheist, whether you are Christian. God has created all these people, and we have to respect them. Doesn't matter who and what they are. That is God, what God is asking of us. Whether we agree with them, that is another thing. And He's also clear about we are not to agree with sin, with wickedness, with evil, whatever. But the person, the deep person inside, is a creation of God. He allowed that person to be born into this world, to be raised by whatever means, and he can in a second end a life if he wants to. So how can we judge people? How can we decide who's deserving to live and who's deserving to be blessed and who not? So I think it's so important that we check our attitude towards people, towards the 50% that God, 50% of the commandments that the Lord has given us. In the original Hebrew language, it's not really commandment, it's more of instructions. That He is actually pronunciations. It's like He's given us a wording, a word of instruction to follow, and guidelines to follow. And He's guiding us into the fullness of life. First of all, the first 5 is all about Him. It's about our relationship with Him, how to get that relationship with Him at a maximum level, how to honor Him, how to be obedient to Him, how to serve Him. That's all tied up in the first 5. The second 5, which we don't really see, is don't commit adultery. Adultery, what is adultery? You don't have that purity of serving a person. You know, you can have adultery of friendships. You can have adultery of family. It means that there's always somebody better. This person is never good enough for you. This person is never, there's always someone better, someone else doing more. You're never satisfied with the friends and the things that God has placed in your life. Instead of being thankful, you look for other things. Do not lie. I explain to you guys, if we are not honest with ourselves in regards to people, and really see and understand that I am in this friendship or this relationship to control that person because I want something from them. I studied a little example of a child that is prone to accidents, and they've made a little study to see why some kids are prone to accidents. And obviously this is not a Christian study, it's a psychological study, and they found that children prone to accidents usually are very undisciplined children. And human beings in their subconscious have a tendency to feel that they need to be disciplined. So your subconscious actually allows you to make mistakes, to certain things to take place around you, to discipline you, if I can put it in italics. So your subconscious can be a big obstacle in your future. If your subconscious is telling you you're not worthy of success, you're not worthy of riches, you are not, your value is not good enough, you don't work hard enough, then you can work as hard as you can. You can do as much as you can. You will not excel past that point of belief. So if you are your own biggest stumbling block, you need to find that. You need to find a way to change that. You need to find a way to believe that you are a good person, that you are a valued person, that you must be respected and honored. And how do you do that? You do that by treating other people with honor, with respect, with value. Value what is valuable to them. Maybe it's nothing to you, but for that person, a small thing might be valuable and you don't see it, but then you value it because according to their value system. Help them with things that bothers them, keeps them awake for hours. For you, it is like nothing. Why would you lie awake over something silly like that? Then solve it for them. So that, and in the end, you will reap a harvest. But also by doing good, that is also built into the human nature. Again, this refers back to this psychological study that when you do good to other people, you feel good. And that good feeling makes you believe that you're worthy now, that you are valued now. So if you want to remove this big obstacle of deception in your life, where you think wrong, where you act wrong, where your belief system is twisted about your own value and your own worth, you need to do more for other people. So this is just a short summary of how to solve the problem. Obviously, it's much deeper, much more complicated, but it's just a summary for you to see and understand that people plays a big part of our lives. We can't ignore them because we need them. We can't isolate ourselves because loneliness is the number one killer after, well, this is another study where they took patients that had heart attacks or whatever treatment in hospitals and they couldn't return back to their normal lives again. That lonely, they didn't die of sickness. They didn't die of their illness or whatever. They died of loneliness because they isolated themselves. So this is also truthful for us. If we isolate ourselves, we just keep on thinking in our own little world. We are only living in our own little world, and that world turns on us. That world tells us that we're not good enough, we're not worthy, we're not valuable, and it's actually a massive big mountain that we are creating, and we're running all around that same mountain. Instead, break free. Go and serve others. Do to others like you would like people to do to you. Do small things. Smile, love, be kind, be good. And you will see that when you have a problem, things will change for you quickly, because all of that is a massive harvest that needs to be returned to you. But you don't do it to get a harvest. You do it because you love God first of all, and He asks that of us. I hope you understand this teaching. I think it's something that you need to meditate on. I've been meditating this whole morning on this, and I just want to have you rethink your relationships in life. Shalom.